Hi, welcome to our podcast. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bindi, and I am a yoga teacher as well as a wellness, holistic lifestyle influencer.
Yes, and I am her co-host, Ariel, also known as ArielvsCupcake on my social media platforms, and I am a lifestyle and beauty influencer and model, if you will.
I was about to say she's beautiful. Do you see her? So we've recorded this 4 times, 5 times, so many times, and we've had so many different little technology things happen. So I don't know about you, but the ice is broken for me. So
Ice is broke, okay?
so to start, we wanted to talk about why we started this podcast. For me, I know that a lot of my Bindi Bunch community, you're going to check this podcast out, and I'm really excited for that because I feel like I talk a lot about manifestation on all of my social channels. And, we're manifesting all the time. Um, as in, we're manifesting even when we're not doing rituals and we're not focusing on what we're bringing into our reality. We're still manifesting through the vibration that we're just holding in life. So I wanted to show more of who I am as a person, separate from all the lovely woo-woo stuff that I talk about.
So, I would say that I started this podcast because Dominique and I have never met in real life. Surprise, surprise. But I feel like I've known her my whole entire life. And I just want to showcase that you don't have to physically meet someone, you can be connected spiritually.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like you are my soul sister. And I think that people need to see that so they are open to receive this kind of connection, these relationships.
Absolutely. That there's that really toxic mentality of no new friends. And I'm just like, ugh.
Uh-uh.
Give me new friends.
Give
Give me
me
new
new
friends. I
friends.
have I have people I've been friends with for a while. And like, yes, of course, those friendships hit different. But when you make new friends, it's like those people know who you are today through last year, maybe the year before, but they don't take the sum of you from the last 15 years, like they
And
know
hold on to it.
and hold on to it, and that's what I really appreciate about our friendship, because I feel like you came into my life right when I started pressing the foot on that gas. Like my son was like 2 years old, and I was just like, all right, we got to start making some stuff happen. And somehow on Instagram, we found each other.
We found each other through Tika. Tika, I was following some
Right.
hashtag. It's like a spiritual hashtag. Tika is following the hashtag also. She's like, look at this girl bending all around. And lo and behold, it's Brown and Bendy. And I don't
Oh,
know. I followed you, and your captions will be so. I'm like, who is this woman? She's like an angel on earth.
I love you. So actually, before we even get into it, you guys, if you're watching or listening to this podcast, it's gonna literally just be us talking. Don't expect too much, too much structure, because we just be talking. I saw someone, let me know if you saw this meme. So I saw someone post a meme that said, if you write long captions, and I was triggered. It was like, if you write long captions and you pour your heart into them, you're making a bunch of white men who own these apps money. Stop writing long captions, save them, publish a book. And I was just like, I see the point. I see the logic. I see the logic. But
I mean, I feel like it's a bit much though.
I agree. I agree. I feel like, yes, we can monetize off of everything in our lives if we want to, but I just feel like that mindset is so like, how can I make money? How can I make, like, scarcity, like, and
Yeah.
I only have the community that I have because I've been vulnerable and shared. And I feel like if I went into social media with that mindset, like I have to monetize I've managed people who are like that. And it's like, you don't trying to sell when you have no audience, like it doesn't go anywhere. So yeah, I just
Agree.
I just wanted
I
to tell you that
agree.
story super quick. But why we started? Did I gave my reason why I started. You gave yours. Oh, and then I told you right before we started recording that I had an idea for our tagline, that our tagline should be, you can sit with us, because the idea that someone can't sit with you because they're not blank enough, like, it's so tired. It's so old.
Pull up a seat as long as you bring something to the table. Okay.
And you got something.
Yes.
You got something. So hopefully this podcast will also help women realize that they have something. I know that there was a time in my life where, like, I didn't think I had anything. Everyone gets like that imposter syndrome that we talked about. Everyone thinks that, what at a certain point, everyone can feel like what I have is a dime a dozen. It's not that special. It's not that great. So what you have is great. Who you are is perfect. And you deserve to be at any table you want to be at in the cafeteria.
Pull up a seat.
Pull up a seat.
Sit down.
Yes. So that's why we started Pinned Conversations. I don't even know if we said the name of the podcast yet, but that's the name of the podcast.
That is the name of it. I don't know. I think we mentioned it. I feel like we did.
We'll see.
Maybe not, but we did.
It's okay. So the first segment of Pinned Conversations, I'm just going to say it all the time now. The first segment of Pinned Conversations is going to be, what are you working on? So Ariel, what are you working on?
I am working on being a little bit more intentional about my day to day. I kind of started this about 2 weeks ago, where I get up, I get my day started early and just kind of go with the flow from there. But I want to have more structure to where I know what I'm doing at this time and this time, even though that don't really work for entrepreneurs, but I'm going to try it out. So yeah, I just want to be a little bit more intentional this week about what I'm doing with my time and pushing out these vlogs for y'all.
So is that what you're working on? Okay, so spiritually, you're working on being intentional with your time.
Yes.
And then work-wise, so I feel like that feeds right into what you're doing work-wise, because as you're being intentional about your time, you're also recording.
Yes.
What you're doing. That's cool. So what are you working on as far as work?
As far as work.
Like, tell me a little bit more about your vlogs.
So my vlogs is just my day-to-day life, like me doing my influencing work. I have gotten back into my influencing work really heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm working with brands now. So a part of my work week is going to look like me editing videos for brands, shooting content. So yeah, I have just the normal.
Let me just say, if you haven't checked out Ariel yet, if you haven't seen her Instagram, quality, look, that is the whole I used to be stingy with the follow back. I'm not anymore, but I used to be real stingy with the follow back. And let me tell you, this girl, ArielvsCupcake, followed me. And I was like, let me go check her Instagram out. The quality, the quality of Ariel's work is just phenomenal. I've come from a background of production, and I will pull up this girl's picture when I'm with friends, when I'm with people that I've worked with, and be like, she takes her own pictures, and just watch jaws drop.
Hearing that from you is like, oh gosh, because I know you quality too. But hearing that from quality, I know it's quality.
But girl, your visual eye, man. Ariel's vlogs are on YouTube. Yes. And they are amazeballs. So you said we're gonna see more influencing content.
Yes, you're gonna see more influencing content and just more fun. So my son is going back. He's moving with his dad in a week.
A week.
In a freaking week. So that means I'll be sad for about a day, but mom's out on the prowl. So you guys are gonna see a lot of, you're gonna see some fun.
Putting that foot on the gas.
Yes.
That foot on the gas. I love it.
Fun.
I love it. Oh, I'm gonna miss Mari. That cute little face.
Yes, me too.
That cute little face.
So enjoy the mommy content, because y'all have about a week and a half left of mommy content. And after that,
can I tell you something?
Yes.
Mommy content makes me sweat, like when I'm making my own. makes me sweat because I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know how it's gonna go. I love my babies with all my heart, but they see a camera, especially Olivia, who's only 11 months. She sees a phone, she sees the camera, and it's like this alien baby that I've never experienced before. Well, first of all, Olivia is like an old soul in general, but both of my children put on for the camera. I'll leave it at that. But what are we working on? What am I working on? I didn't even interpret that question as what am I spiritually working on. So that, man, I feel like constantly I'm just always working on being more present. I think as a person who spent the majority of her life controlled by anxiety, I don't want to go back to that. That's like one of my bigger spiritual hangups, getting caught up in my thoughts, getting caught up in like holding on to specific thoughts for too long. So even last week, my therapist and we worked on some really heavy stuff. And for anyone who's in therapy, I think that this is really important. When you work through things, even if they're from a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if you're working through something that triggered you, being present is so important when it comes to just making sure that you don't sink back into old habits to make yourself become comfortable because you've unearthed all this stuff. So long form answer for what I'm working on being present and making sure that I'm reminding myself that my life is amazing and that I'm not living in my past.
Yeah.
And I am working on, you heard how I perked up. Work-wise, I'm working on yoga classes, filming yoga classes. I'm so excited. I am so excited. I really enjoy making guided meditations on YouTube. So I'm going to approach my yoga classes from that perspective. They will be voiceover guided meditations. So I'm making the script for that. I made my first one.
The best voice.
Oh, thank you, friend. I made the script for the first one the other day, and it took me like 3 hours to make a 45-minute class. But I'm gonna work on a couple more, and then we will move on to filming. So that is what I am working on. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Have you done yoga before?
Yes, I actually like. Now I'm not all bendy like you. I can get down there and do a thing or two. Yeah, I like doing yoga. I think my favorite pose is the child's pose. Is that what it's called?
Same.
Yeah, but you're not really doing that. You're just kind of laying there, just relaxing.
Pro tip: get in a child's pose, right? Mm-hmm. So for those of you who don't know, child's pose is when get on all fours, like on your hands and on your knees, spread your knees apart, sink your butt back to your heels, and then walk your hands forward. That's child's pose. You can also Google a picture. And then when you're in child's pose, walk both your hands over to the left side. Then back through center, then over to the right side. There is something about that. I will start my practice with that and then just be on the floor for like 30 minutes. Like I could have burnt more calories.
Okay, Dominique, don't have me on the ground for hours.
Oh my God, the peace that comes with it. Yoga, it's life.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, me too. It's been a long time coming, but I just feel like I haven't had mental space to do it. I feel like I've just been waiting for Olivia to like be off of my boob for more than 5 minutes before I could.
My life.
Ariel's been on FaceTime with me. She knows that I literally do not go more than 20 minutes before my daughter peeks out from some corner and
ready. Yeah,
she's always ready to eat. She's always ready to eat. But it's fine. She's cute. She has a cute little chunky face, so it's okay. So
I don't know how you can say no.
I can't say no to anything. She's wrapped. I'm wrapped. I'm wrapped around her finger. She's wrapped around my finger. No, I'm wrapped around her finger.
Hers, yes.
Wow. We try to say, you like horror? Completely different direction, but do you like horror?
Who's that?
Horror, like the horror genre, like scary stuff.
Oh, horror. Yeah.
I don't say I don't know how I say it because no one ever understands me when I say it. But my husband and I, we've been watching Child's Play because they just came out with the television show.
Chucky.
I know. I feel like the collective just got goosebumps. Yes, Chucky, but it's good. The show's really good, and we were watching it last night. No spoilers, don't worry. But we were watching it last night, and one of the younger Chucky says we're gonna party like it's 1999, and one of the younger characters is like, "What does that mean?"
Oh my goodness.
And I just looked at Adam, and I was like, "That was 21 years ago." That was 21 years ago.
Yeah.
So I bring this up to say, like, we say these phrases and it's just like, for example, wrapped around my finger. We say these phrases like we've been saying them our whole lives, but it's like time's going forward and we're getting older. Just a little bit of mortality for you guys.
21 years ago.
21
I'm
years.
proud on that.
Isn't that crazy?
Jeez.
Isn't that crazy? I gotta look up some more phrases to say. I gotta expand my.
What is it? Come on. What is it? Come on.
Okay, so it comes on the Sci-Fi app and the USA app, right? But when you try to watch it, they're like, you got 3 credits for 3 shows, and you can use 1 credit per show, and then you got to plug in your cable provider. So Adam and I are on our 4th email that we've created to watch the show. We finished the series last night. Don't tell them, y'all. Don't send them for me. Whatever. I watched the whole season. Whatever.
Oh man, that's a good idea though.
Dude, I mean, pro tip.
See, I have Spectrum though, so I wonder if I can use Spectrum to watch it.
We have Spectrum Wi-Fi. That didn't do nothing for us. They didn't unlock anything. Also, I got a VPN. We're still talking about what we're working on, so let's keep talking about work stuff. I got a VPN. Yeah, because did I tell you that? I didn't tell you. Guys, someone got onto my YouTube and they took my picture, my YouTube picture, and they created a name, Brown and Brendy. So it looked just like Brown and Bendy, but they put an R after the second B. Asking for money, asking for people to do stuff.
No.
So crazy. So a voice in my head has been telling me to get a VPN for a while because my passwords are not as nearly as complex as they should be. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. So something was telling me to get a VPN for a while, but when that happened, I was just like, I looked at my husband and I was like, please do this. Can we please do this? Man, it was scary.
That is scary.
Because people were commenting on my videos saying, hey, so because I don't think that people saw the second R. So I think people thought that they were on my account because at a glance, it looked like
the same. Yeah.
It was scary because like also YouTube's through Google. So it's like, it's all synced. So if someone breaks into that account, it's like, that's all my stuff. So got a VPN, feels super secure. Highly recommend. Y'all, ExpressVPN, y'all can sponsor the podcast and we can get some work. We can do some work.
Sponsor this podcast, okay?
Dude, okay, so you said you're getting back into your influencer work. Are you ever going to tell the girls how we can, and I say we because me, I'm the girls, the girls are me, but are you ever going to tell us how we can go about pitching brands? Because it's 2021, almost 2022, and I feel like it's constantly evolving with how we're supposed to be reaching out to these brands. I used to be super duper uptight and professional, and now I feel like being more casual gets me more results. So are you gonna ever like talk to the collective about how to get into reaching out to brands?
Yes, if they want me to, I will. But yeah, of course. I think I'll spill the tea here and there. A few episodes down the road.
Okay, I'm into it. I'm excited. Do you have any tips that you would like, a very top layer of information that you can give? Or maybe I can ask a more specific question. Let me think. If I were to reach out to a brand tomorrow, okay, how to decide what brands to reach out to for your niche?
So what brands fit? Like what brands? I think what I did or what I currently still do is I think about things that I use on my day-to-day. So
Mm-hmm.
I know I use this specific candle. So I reach out to this candle brand because I always use the candle or the soap I use or the clothes that I wear or the frames that I wear. Reach out to brands that you actually use on a day-to-day basis.
So what you're saying is I shouldn't just watch the top influencers on YouTube and see who they work for and then reach out to those brands, even though I've never used any of their products. I shouldn't do that.
When
Okay.
recommended, when recommended.
I feel like I'm not gonna even front. I'm not gonna even hold you. I feel like when I was at the beginning of my journey, I was like, well, those brands have money because look, they're paying people.
They're paying
So
them. Yeah, same. I
I
think
would
they
just be
all do that. Yeah.
so I'd just be like, let me reach out to them. But they'd be like, what do you know about me? What do you know
Mhm.
about me? And I'd be sitting there looking like, well, you gotta send me
Mhm.
the product first. Just looking dumb.
Then when you go to review the product, you like, yeah, so I really like this. Smells good.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Literally, you
pretty.
smell it for the first time. Smells good.
Yeah, you like smells good. It's pretty. You really don't know anything about this product because this is your first time getting it. You just want to check.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And
if you
it's
want
so
to check, make sure it's a check that's gonna mean something to you. Get a check from someone
authenticity.
that you use. Yes, on a regular
Authenticity.
day.
I can say that from experience working with, and I'm sure you can too, working with a brand simply because they're paying you, it's draining. And in the process of making the content, it's like it feels, for me personally, it feels like you didn't charge enough. Because it's like, no matter how much you get paid for it, if you don't know anything about the product, that's going to, or if you just have no connection to the product, it feels like you're acting. And that's never fun. That's never
Mhm.
fun.
It feels like work.
Exactly. It feels like work. And
Mhm.
it's like on top of that, you're already curating the image and editing. And it's like there's enough work here for working with the product to not feel like work, you know? But yeah, being an influencer is fun, guys. Don't let's say
Yeah.
something positive about being an
Oh,
influencer.
being an influencer is so fun. Being an influencer is the reason is how I where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Being
Same,
an influencer.
same. And I think the best part of being an influencer is the people you meet. For me
Yeah,
personally.
the community. Yes, it's
Yes.
the relationships, the friendships. It is because you meet so many people on this journey from all over the world.
Yes, especially for Black women. I am so grateful for social media because I feel like before social media, I'm not going to even say who, just the powers that be were so committed to making Black women look a very specific ways, just the box that we always get put in. And it's like then social media came and more Black women were given a voice. And then it's like, right, Black women come in all different types of
Yeah.
forms, not just the
Yeah.
small boxes that the commercial arena tries to put us into. So that is definitely my favorite thing about being an influencer, just
Mhm.
getting to see all the Black women thrive
Yeah.
and be beautiful.
Thrive. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Okay, so anything else about what you're working on?
No,
Let
that's
me
pretty
think.
good.
Anything else about what I'm working on? You
Yeah.
know,
Yoga.
yoga. I've been doing daily videos on YouTube, and my community really seems to like it. Ooh, this is fun. This is fun. Okay, so I've been doing daily videos on YouTube. If you are new to my YouTube, then you've seen these daily videos. But maybe 2 months ago, what my form was coming out with a video like once a week or twice a week. And it would be this whole production area. It would be a full face of makeup, setting up lights, making my husband and my kids leave. Like it was just like this whole production. And then one day I had finished, and then the editing after that, then the editing, and then the making the thumbnail and all that. So one day I had finished filming, I put everything away, I sat down to edit. I was just like, damn, I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Mhm.
And I didn't make a video for a week. And then I was just like, I'm just going to set up my iPhone and just talk. And the response on my channel has been wild. Like, I think that's what my audience preferred. And I realized that it was my ego that was saying that I want to be this type of YouTuber and I want my videos to look this way and all of this stuff. And it's just like, I had this big realization that we can't let how we want our image to be impact the value that we're giving people. Because now that I'm making these daily videos, so much information is coming out of me that I don't know if I would have ever gotten to if I was doing this one video a week. You know, and I was working too hard. That's another thing too. For my ladies that struggle with feminine energy, if your body will tell you if you're working too hard. And if your body tells you, stop it.
Mhm. Yes, because you don't have to work, especially when you do. This is a topic for another day, but you don't have to work hard.
Speak on it. I'm listening. My listening ears
Not
are
have
on.
to work hard at all. I'm
Mm-mm.
telling you, if you if you get your mind right,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff comes easy. A lot of stuff comes easy.
Yes, affirmation.
Yes. A lot of stuff comes easy. You do not have to work hard.
It's about alignment.
Yes.
It's about alignment. And I think a lot of us also have this little voice in our head that tells us that if we don't work hard, cough slavery mindset, that tells us if we don't work hard,
Yep.
that what we get isn't going to be worth it. You have to work hard in order to receive big things. And it's like, that is not true.
Not true at all.
The universe wants everything for you,
Yes.
everything.
You just gotta want it for you.
Alignment. And I feel like, okay, no, this is really good. I feel like that's the work that people don't want to do, the easiest type. It takes nothing to sit on your butt and think, well, how am I standing in my own way? That doesn't take any physical work.
Mhm.
But I feel like a lot of people would rather, excuse the phrase, but slave away physically instead of having to do that mental work, you know?
And also, I feel like a lot of people we don't really believe in themselves, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they would, you trust a job and it's like that's your security, but the security is really here, you know?
Internal,
Yeah.
internal. And the less that you believe in what's inside, the more your physical world is going to reflect that.
Hmm.
And the more you're going to have to depend on things outside of yourself to give you stability.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
exhausting. That's
Yeah.
really exhausting.
It is. It's very exhausting. I'm telling you, and I know that from experience.
I would definitely say since working a little less hard, I feel a lot more like I have a grasp on my reality. I feel like I have a nice firm hold. But before, when I was feeling depleted and like I was barely keeping up with my videos, I felt that like I was starting to pursue being comfortable. I wasn't comfortable. I was starting to chase after being comfortable. And it's like, because whose choice was that?
Yeah.
That was my choice.
Mhm. Exactly. And you have to hold yourself accountable too.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so that's what we are working on. So, our next, if you don't know me, my name is Dominique, and I say so all the time. The end. We are going to segue into the next section of this podcast, which is the question of the week. And we are going to start with a question from Ariel.
Yeah. So the question that I had, because this is something that I've been dealing with in my reality, it is how do you balance being selfish but also selfless?
Mm.
And I'm gonna ask you that, Dominique.
Ask me that. Okay. Oh gosh. Well, I struggle with it. I would definitely say I struggle with it. I think the main people who struggle with that are moms, right?
Yes.
You know, but it's like a catch 22 because it's like if you focus too much on your children, you're not setting an example. You're not setting an intentional example,
Mhm.
and you're not getting that bag. Like I hate to put it like that, but when you focus too much on these little humans, then and take all the focus off of yourself and your development, kids grow up. And kids, they crave independence from the second they can walk. They crave that independence. And don't get me wrong, I've definitely fallen into putting so much attention onto my children that I have deprived myself. I'm not going to even lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But I think that the body will give you signs that you're not putting enough energy into yourself and your health, and then you'll have to recalibrate. So hopefully, we don't have to wait until God tells us to pay attention to ourselves and to be selfish. Hopefully, we can get to a point where we make the intentional choice ourselves. Um, but I will say for me, that's had to happen before I realized that I was being a little bit too selfless.
Mhm.
And then I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to realize that I'm not balanced, right? And I'm a Libra. I crave balance constantly, but I feel like I'm still learning how to balance what I expect from myself when I give to others versus what I give to myself. And I asked this question on my Instagram the other day because we were talking about balance, and I was like, well, let me just see what my community says. And I asked, how do you guys balance being selfish with being selfless? And a lot of people didn't answer. A lot of people were like, well, when you find out, tell me. And I was like, okay, bet. But one person had a very interesting answer. They said, I have unlimited space for both. I have unlimited space for myself, and I have unlimited space for others. And I was like, come through, Bendy Bunch, with the affirmations. Come through. Because if we tell ourselves that we have unlimited space for ourselves, we find it. But if we tell ourselves, I have to focus on my kids, I have to focus on my partner, I have to focus on my job, I don't have time for myself, I don't have time for myself, I don't have time for myself, what's going to end up happening? Yeah. You know?
Yeah, okay.
So I still don't know if I have an answer. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna say that I have an answer on how to find that balance, but I am working on it. I'm working on it, and I'm getting better every day.
Same. I don't have the answer to that either. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I do know that in order, and this is what I've learned along the years, but I've always been one to put others before myself just because of my nurturing um spirit. I want to nurture. I want to, make sure like, are you okay? Do you need anything? I'm that person. But I've realized that in order for me to continue being that person, I have to also be that person for myself because
Yes.
I'm not 100%. I can't give anyone else any kind of percentage of me because
Absolutely.
I'm not 100% myself. And a good friend of mine, she told me that when you pour into other people, you have to make sure that you're being filled back up so that you can continue pouring into other people. So she's like, don't pour everything out. You got to save a little bit until you get filled up again. So I'm learning to kind of like scale back a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and not just go like full throttle into it. But I do love what that person said about having unlimited space for both. So that was really good. That was really good.
It's going to be a learning process, but I think that, like, at the end of the day, we both run our own businesses. So we can't say that we don't know how to hold space for ourselves. We do know how to hold space, but I think that it's complex. It's
Mhm,
complex.
mhm,
Um, I think that when it comes to being selfish, it's important because let's just look at our society and our culture. Our culture teaches us to believe that we're always missing something, that we need something. So because of that, a lot of times when you meet people, subconsciously they're thinking, what can I get from you? Because
mhm,
they don't feel like they have enough. So learning how to be selfish is important. I remember when we were talking about it, I'm not going to say that I was triggered, but the idea of being selfish made my brain like run a little bit faster than normal because I was just like, am I entitled to be selfish with my own time? And like, y'all, if you are entitled to anything, it's your own time, period. So when I thought that, I had to like ground myself and then, evaluate how I was spending my days. But I think that, like you were saying earlier, you're being more intentional about how you're spending your days, right? And I think that maybe if I'm not telling anyone to go out there and make a 5-year plan, but I think that maybe if we know or have an idea about how we want to spend our days, how we maybe even want the next year to go, that can help us figure
mhm.
out how much we want to give to others and to ourselves. Because
Yeah.
then we have a little bit of a road that we want to go down. We know where we want to be, and we know how much space we can hold for others while still walking on our own path.
Mhm. See, Dominique, that's what I'm saying. That's why I need you.
I need you too, girl.
You knock it out for me.
So I said I was gonna record or not record, put the stopwatch on to see how long we talked for. I
Yeah.
forgot to do that. It never happened, but it's all good.
Mhm. I think we've been talking for a minute.
But when it comes to being selfless, has your body ever told you, Ariel, stop giving so much and please pay attention to me?
Oh my gosh. Yes, it has. And you know what stops it? And this is what I've learned recently is that putting myself first, I would feel a whole lot of guilt, like doing
Girl.
what was best for me. And it's like, why am I feeling so guilty for doing what's best for me? Because at the end of the day, we're all going to do what's best for us, whether we
Mhm,
want to admit it or not. And in order to do that, we have to take the guilt out of our hearts.
mhm,
We just have to. I had to remove that guilt because it's literally no hard feelings. There's no love lost. I still love you. I just have to do what's best for me. And I can't be such of a giver, you
mhm.
know, all the time, especially when I'm not receiving. And then, too, we're going to talk about this another time, but I'm going to just give it a little rundown. I have a lot of masculine energy and I'm stepping
That
more
is
into
another
my
conversation
feminine.
because
Yeah, I'm stepping more into my feminine energy, and feminine energy is receiving and masculine energy is giving.
ooh,
So, in
say
order
that.
for me to step into my feminine, I have to be open to receiving. And with me being such of a giver, I had such a hard time receiving because it's like, no, I'm supposed to be giving this to you. You're not supposed to be
Yeah,
giving it to me. I don't want to,
yeah.
I was so closed off to receiving. But now I am open to receive. And since I've been open to receive, I have been receiving. And I love it here. So, yeah, I
And I
love it
think
here.
maybe this is a conversation about masculine and feminine energy in general, because isn't that what the question is? How to
Yes,
balance being
right.
selfish,
You're right.
receiving, with
Yes.
being selfless, giving.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I will definitely say I resonate with being way too much in my masculine. I think that the majority of female entrepreneurs or females that enjoy just working can identify with getting really into that. I know how to make, are we going to curse on here? It'll be fine. Knowing that idea that I know how to make shit pop. So what else am I going to do? Like getting into that. And then we get so logical. And then putting things out just becomes like the way we live, just producing, give. And it's like you just said, we can't do that and then not fill ourselves back up, that act of receiving. But the
Mm.
act of receiving is not so logical.
Mm.
It's not so masculine. Giving is very like, I choose to give here.
Yep.
That's it. But receiving, it's like you have to go inside. You have to go inside yourself and open yourself up to receiving. It's not logical. It's emotional. It's
Yes.
creative. You have to understand yourself in order to do that. So
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That's
Because
interesting.
I know a lot of times too, the reason why I was so like closed off to receiving is because I'm one of those people who I don't really like people throwing anything up in my face. So I had to
Mhm,
get that out of the way, like, oh, who cares? Give it here.
mhm.
Another thing is I didn't want to be like looking like I need handouts, like, and it's not that. Like it was just my own limiting beliefs in my head that was stopping me from receiving everything good that I deserve.
Yes. I think for me, receiving, my hesitancy with receiving more so had to do with how much faith I had in the universe. I always thought,
Mm.
kind of like you, I always thought that like if I receive something, there's a catch, something has to come with it,
Mhm.
and a lot of experiences with men kind of gave me that subconscious belief.
Yes.
But I had to unlearn that. Oh, I feel the emotions in me, girl. It's okay. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. It's okay. But I had to let that go. I had to let that go, and I had to learn. And this is for anyone who's trying to manifest better romantic relationships. I had to let that go and learn that there are people who are going to see me for me and see the value in that, in me. Not what they can get from me, but just enjoy my presence, just enjoy being around me. And knowing that just me being is enough changed my life. Not what I could give people, but just me being. That really, really changed my life. That's definitely a big part of what helped me get more into my feminine energy. Just being, right?
Yes.
Because those are I don't even know the last time, because children, I don't know the last time I just had a day where I was just being. My wonderful husband does as much as he can to give me chunks of the day where I can do that. So I would be lying if I said I didn't get to do that. But if you do not have any major responsibilities, I highly suggest spending a day to just be and just observe. Just observe what's going on.
Yeah.
I think that's, sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I said agree. I'm agreeing.
I think that's a great way to unlock that feminine, because I think a lot of us are afraid of the feminine, again, because it's not logical. And a lot of us can be afraid of our emotions. So when you spend a day just being, you get to see what you have going on. And then you can tell your brain that you could see what you have going on and that you can handle it.
Yeah.
Handle it. You got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. That was a nice way to put it. Leave it to Dominique to put it wonderfully.
I just be talking.
Next.
Being selfish, being selfless. I think that's my final answer.
Yeah.
How to balance. Bring it back to feminine and masculine. Bring it back to that. There are great content creators on YouTube who talk about feminine and masculine energy, and on Instagram. It's beautiful Baby J. I think I'm making that name.
I love her. It's Baby J.
It's Baby J.
Oh my gosh.
Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss on feminine energy. Chef's Kiss. Leor Alexandra. Ooh. Alexander. I don't know why I call her Leor Alexandra. Leor Alexander. Wonderful feminine energy content. Those are the two that come to mind. Masculine energy content is a little more hard. It's a little more hard to find. If I could think of anyone, I will put it in the description box for you guys, if you are interested in learning how to balance those two energies, because I think that's a wonderful way to figure out when you're giving too much and when you're not receiving enough.
That's so true.
I want to give to myself. It's like my brain is trying to convince me, like, you want to get online? You want to go shopping? You deserve, girl.
Yes, go shopping. Buy you something nice. You deserve it.
Just got a package. I'm good. I need to be shopping.
Okay, yeah.
And I need to be shopping for other people. It's the season. It's the season.
It is the season to be jolly. So
yes, it is the season to be giving. Another thing, giving versus giving too much. Because my husband and I, we sat down and we said, this is how much we are spending on gifts. And if someone doesn't like what they got, you got to handle that with yourself, because
it's the thought that counts.
Because we want to show our affection to our loved ones, but it's like, I can't go into a deficit for the holiday season. It's not going to happen. And I want to show everyone love, So that's a boundary. Yeah.
It is setting a boundary, because for a long time, I actually stopped doing Christmas just for that reason. I'm like, it's too much. You got to go and you got to buy all these gifts, and then you might forget somebody and then they're upset. And then it's like, you spend all this money on all this stuff, and then everything just goes back to normal. Like, it's like, all right.
It feels like there's no winning.
No, at all.
So
it's just a whole process. And I'm like, Christmas should not be that. It should just be surrounded by love,
Yes.
It should not be surrounded by material things.
This could be a reflection. Let's talk about this. So I told you we set our budget
Mhm.
and we already ordered some gifts for our friends and family. And I got some of my friends earrings, and I was looking at the earrings, and they're these beautiful minimalist earrings. And I was looking at them and I was like, is this going to be enough?
Mm.
Is this going to be enough? And is that a reflection of when we give to others?
What you expect?
Is what do we expect from when we give? Why are we assuming that the other person is going to say, well, this isn't enough, give me more? Or I could just be speaking for myself. I don't even want to project onto you. But when I do something for someone, I feel like I have a poor habit of going balls to the wall, when in
Mm.
reality, I need to ground myself and say, what can I give without depleting myself? What can I give comfortably? You know, I feel like that's definitely still something I'm learning.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I think you should just. I mean, I think just giving, just start giving. You know, why do you feel like people would expect more from you?
Mm.
You know,
I think this is like a childhood thing, like
that's a good
just
gift. Some earrings, that's a good gift.
absolutely. But I think it's like from childhood, like perhaps putting your all into something, or maybe one time I put my all into
Mhm.
something and it wasn't enough.
Yes.
Because I love giving, but like I said, this was my first year setting up, because last year I would have just been like, buy, and then give Christmas, put things on credit, just like buying, and then looking at the statement later.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done before this year. But this year, I set a boundary. This is the first year I've ever looked at any gifts that I've given people and said, is this enough? So I think there is a correlation with me putting my foot down and then feeling uncomfortable.
Mhm. It
Yeah.
does make sense. And I think that's part of taking the guilt out of your heart.
Because what do I have to be guilty for?
Exactly. You're doing a good deed. You still giving.
Yeah. And like,
Thought to count. Like you're on my mind. I'm thinking about you. I want to include you in my gift giving this year. So it's just a thought to count. Like you were on my mind. Here's a gift.
yes, yes. And I think that I tell my community this all the time, and I try to remind myself, but when we have pure intention in our hearts, there's no reason to ever feel guilty.
Mm.
When we act through pure intention, when we know that our thoughts are pure, if we hurt someone, it's their responsibility to come to us and say, well, you hurt me. And yes, we can hear them and we can apologize, but there's no reason for us to be guilty if we know that we had a pure heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's something that you just gotta do. Just gift them. They'll be happy. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. That's the that's me.
Do you have anyone? I don't wanna put any spotlights on people. So I'll ask it this way. Have you experienced people in your life who have been very bougie?
Oh,
Like,
wow. Girl, yes, absolutely. I mean, yes, and those people are people who no longer get gifts from me
mm,
because it's like if you're gonna pick apart what I get you, then you don't want me to get you anything.
I think that I haven't set boundaries with those people in the past. So I would just get them what I knew they would like and sacrifice.
Same,
Should we talk about sacrifice?
we can.
Because sacrifice is a part of this whole giving and being
Yeah,
selfless. So is sacrifice ever necessary? Is it?
I don't know because I mean, I feel like it's kind of like past because now you're not sacrificing anymore.
What do you mean?
You said in the past you were like sacrifice and spend all this money.
Well, okay, so in general, is sacrificing for another person, is that ever necessary?
Oh no,
No.
I guess. Uh,
And I'm not counting our kids. I'm
yeah,
talking about people who did not come from you.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't think so. Because that's what I was recently in a situation like that where I was sacrificing all this stuff for someone who was not my child. And it did nothing. I don't think it doesn't help anything, you
I
know?
don't think so either. And I've never asked myself this.
Yeah, it really
And
doesn't help or add any kind of value or anything.
and when you're in the thick of sacrifice, all that you do when you sacrifice is start to resent the person you're sacrificing for.
Yes, yes.
Major key.
Especially if you don't feel appreciated,
Absolutely.
That's the main
Absolutely.
thing.
And then now you're putting expectations on them.
You should not put expectations on anyone. So that, yeah, no sacrificing.
No
No sacrifice.
sacrificing. Stay balanced.
Yes,
Stay
no,
balanced.
yes,
Wow. Oh, I love this conversation. I love
yes,
this. Hmm. This is a good one for holiday season too.
yes,
It's a
no
really good one.
sacrifice. Seriously, that is so true though, because you start to resent the person you're sacrificing. That is sacrificing for.
Because have you ever been in the thick of sacrificing for someone?
Oh,
It does
yeah,
not feel good.
at all, at
It does not feel, you think it's going to feel like, I'm so glad that I did all this. But when you're in the thick of it, it does not feel that way.
no,
It does
not at
not feel that way.
all. It kind of feels like a punishment
It does.
almost,
But you're punishing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You really can't blame anyone but yourself.
And to reiterate, I am not talking about children. I do believe in sacrificing for children because that's how you grow.
Yeah.
And I do believe in sacrificing spiritually.
Mhm.
Like
Definitely.
if you feel like,
I feel like surrendering spiritually. That's
yes.
the word. Yeah.
When I say sacrificing spiritually, I mean, for example, if there are certain habits that you know you need to stop, but you know
Mhm.
that if you stop them, you'll have to change the people you hang out with, or you'll have to change how you spend your time. I
Mhm.
think that that type of sacrificing is a part of growth.
It's necessary, you're right.
Mhm. But people, the only people you should be sacrificing for are your kids
Yes,
because
exactly.
you grow then too,
Mhm.
but not even your romantic partner, not even your romantic partner.
Yeah, agreed. You can compromise, but I wouldn't sacrifice.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
compromise is also beautiful when we're talking about balancing too, because I feel like compromise can stop you from getting to that point where you sacrifice. You could find that balance.
Yes, it is. I mean, I think it all goes back to balance, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It really does. It all goes back to balance.
So true. So, so true. Oh,
I know.
Ariel, I don't even know what else we could talk about when it comes to this topic. I think that we thoroughly answered the question, or at least
Thoroughly, yes.
gave our audience like some insight into how we feel about it. I think this was the first episode of Pinned Conversations. What do you think?
I think it was the first episode.
Ooh, ooh. Okay.
We know that.
So if you liked this, then make sure that you subscribe to whoever's YouTube this is on. Make sure you subscribe to whatever podcast service you are listening to this through so that you can be alerted when we come out with another episode. And yes, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode.
It was fun. I had fun.
I
And I'm
did
excited for this
too.
episode. And y'all, this is going to be fun. This is a journey for all of us. And I'm just ready to grow. I'm ready to grow with y'all.
Me too. I'm ready to grow and I'm ready to be more vulnerable with like who I am. Like I'm not gonna hide behind content anymore.
Yes.
Because you can't really do that when you're having conversations. You can't hide behind anything. It's like, this is me.
Yes. Raw and uncut. What you see is what you get.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you more.
Okay, that's a wrap. I'm going to stop recording now. Bye, everyone. Have a great week.